Thank you for tuning in and checking out another episode of Unlucky, a memoir. My name is Kat. Everyone has a story. This one just happens to be mine. Welcome back. It's been another week, and it's gorgeous out today in the 60s. It did snow for 2 days, the past couple of days, it's insane to me. I'll get used to it sooner or later. No snow all winter, but spring hits, it's time to go. But regardless of that, it was a good week. I got to go back and visit with some people who saw me at the very beginning of this journey. And one, my old chaplain, I handed him my new business card with my certification on my credentials listed on the card. And I joked with him. I go, "Did you ever think you'd be holding that in your hand?" And he goes, "No, you know the story. I didn't think you were going to make it the first time we met." And it's a good feeling, right? To revisit that time and talk to the people that saw me when I was pretty close to at my worst, and how proud they are of me for the things I've accomplished and I've done in these past 2 years. And to go and have a really good heart-to-heart conversation with my old chaplain, with my old counselor, my old case manager, and just be able to sit down as not a client and to still have like a good rapport and have good conversations. Whereas like that's not the norm, I guess. A lot of people graduate, leave, complete, whatever it is, and then you never talk to or see them again. And I see that with the program we have here. You know, the ones that do complete, I hope and wish the best for them. And some of them stick around and come back from time to time. But yeah, it felt good to be able to go back and have a conversation and be talked to as a peer, where I can now be a referral source for them, for people looking for a program. Maybe theirs didn't fit over there, so they're going to start referring people here also. And it's cool, right? Like we were just talking about on the other video, purpose, and how that, to me, like that's the secret to life, is finding a purpose. And then the sermon this Sunday was on purpose. So I guess maybe I'm supposed to talk about purpose. There's the old adage that says, find something you love and you'll never work another day in your life. But I found that to be not true. Because as a tattooist, I loved the job. I loved that career. But I became dependent on it to support myself, my family. And you learn to regret or resent those things that you rely on for those, because the tattoos that would walk in the door that maybe I wasn't gung-ho about or really didn't feel like doing at all, I'd still do them because I had bills to pay and people that depended on me, right? So it became a job. It became work. Where the difference now is I don't always love my job, but I have purpose. So I'm a lot more comfortable in my life with what I'm doing. It helps. The purpose gets me through those days that are rough, with a difficult client or just being overwhelmed mentally, you know. But purpose is what gets me through. It's not about, like, I'm not sitting here counting the days till payday, because that's not the most important thing about this job. I'm not counting down the days to the weekend because I need to get away. It's that I have purpose, and when I hear a client repeat something that I had a conversation with them about, or tell me how much I helped out in the situation, or how somebody who's getting ready to leave the program thanks me for being me and maintaining my role in this facility. Even though some of those people have been difficult and hard to deal with, they still get to the end and see a purpose in why I was here. And that fills me with this feeling like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I've had good jobs that paid well, but it was just a job. And it was more about the paycheck, and I showed up to do the work to get the paycheck. We're here, the paycheck comes, but that's not why I'm doing it. There's something about, and I probably talked about this way early on in these videos, is that aha moment when you have somebody who you're just having those conversations with, and they finally have that self-realization, the aha moment of either A, like, oh my God, I blamed this person for so long and never looked at my spot. B, just like, they finally see like this is what they need to do to move forward. They can't keep repeating the same patterns. And it doesn't happen a lot, it doesn't happen all the time. But when it does, it just fulfills you, like, your spirit. It feels like this was the plan all along, and I just didn't know it. And I always say that God had a plan from the beginning for me. And like, I still don't see where it's going, but I have faith that it's going somewhere good. But I can look back at all those things that I felt were a waste, that I threw away, that whatever negative connotation or feeling that comes with it, I can look at them now and be like, aha, that's why I suffered the way I did. That's why I struggled the way I did. That's why I repeated these mistakes the way I did, because I wasn't ready yet. I had to experience that stuff to become who I am. And hopefully through experiencing that stuff and becoming who I've been becoming, and hope to continue down this path to become even better, that maybe I can be that detour in the path of someone who's struggling the way I did. And maybe me sharing my story, my testimony with them is enough for them to be like, I get it. And most of them probably won't, not yet. It took me 30 years of pain and suffering to get to the point of absolute hopelessness and understand that it was either it's over or divert and start a new chapter. And we were just having this conversation the other day. There's a person who's incarcerated that is reaching out for assistance to get out of jail. But that wouldn't help them. And it pains me because I know the feeling. I've been there and just wanted someone, somehow, some way to get me out of there. But in those instances, moving through it probably was better for me. It was that stopgap I needed, or else I might have been dead by now. And an outside intervention to just put the brakes on and keep me stationary for a bit. Because the other times that I got out and didn't have to wait, I ran right back. At least the times where I had to sit and wait and process the whole deal. Those are the times that I probably stayed in recovery the longest, or abstinent now looking back on it, because I didn't really do a whole lot of work. But because the price was higher, I valued the cost of that into moving forward. I had to pay the ultimate price and cost this time of getting to that just desperation, hopeless moment. And sometimes you need to pay a consequence in order to move forward. And like I said, there's a lot of decisions I have to make in life now that I'm not happy with, that are very uncomfortable, but I know we're there for the greater good of the other person, the other situation, whatever it may be. And I said this the other week where I heard someone on a podcast talking about, would you rather do the right thing and be hated, or do the wrong thing just to be loved or liked, right? And I realized the person at the end of the day is about doing the right thing, no matter how uncomfortable it makes me feel. And like, there's a closing in the community group that we have where it says, even when it's uncomfortable. And I always add a PS to that, especially when it's uncomfortable, because those are the spots where we have an opportunity to grow and become something more. So in making some of these decisions over the past couple months, right, and I get no joy out of it. As a matter of fact, I usually get the opposite, that uncomfortability and the feelings of just being unsure. And then with talking with others and figuring it out, like the decisions, like when I have to make those decisions, it's not about me and how I feel. It's about, is this going to move that other person forward in a positive direction? Is this going to help them travel their path a little less rocky than my road was? So, like, I'm so grateful today that I have purpose, and purpose drives me every day, because I just feel so much of my life I didn't help other people. I didn't influence other people in a positive light. Not that I owe it now, but I feel like it's the least I could do to at least turn around those negative parts of my life that got me here, and try to head down a different path today. So it's been a real introspective week, thinking about purpose. And to be honest, I had no idea what I was going to talk about this week. I didn't plan anything. And in the last minute, like, that's the one thing that I guess I've been thinking about the most. So I figured that that's what I needed to talk about. So again, I'm so grateful for each and every one of you who tune in weekly and check out my videos, comment, like, all that stuff. That means so much. I am truly grateful for each and every one of you. Please like, subscribe, share, all those fun things. And I'll catch you all next week.